Hi guys, it's Damien. I'm back from the Brittle Box Candy Company. This video I'm going to do, it's a little bit different than what I've done before about selling and starting a business online and selling your products and handmade goods through different selling platforms, as we have discussed in most of my videos. Um, the one thing I've learned about being an entrepreneur and having a business of my own and starting something from nothing and creating it into something that can grow and kind of take on a life of itself is the right mindset, the right mental attitude. All I knew is about 6 or 7 years ago, about 7 years ago now. I knew that what I was doing, the job I was in for 20 years. I was in retail. It was just not what I wanted to end up doing with the entire rest of my life. Going through college, I held a couple jobs. I had two jobs at once while I put myself through college, and went to school full time. It was a bit of a challenge, but I knew that that I had to do what I had to do in order to reach the goal that I was trying to achieve, which was just finishing my degree and basically supporting myself. But the one thing that I found out that you got to really have the right mindset. And the one thing that I'd like to do a lot when I'm not obviously working on my business is reading books, and I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of books. Many of the books that I've read are about self-development, understanding yourself. Um, I read a lot of books with a lot of great quotes from people like Thomas Edison, great presidents that we've had before, political leaders, leadership in business, Sam Walton, books on from Donald Trump to Sam Walton to many business leaders that have done fantastic things in their business life. I don't care so much about what they do in their personal life, and some of the people have had oddball personal lives, but many of them have reached astronomical success in business. And it's always come back to the bottom line was that it kept repeating that it was a mindset. It was a mindset. It was their thinking, their thought processes, and many of the thought processes that I had prior to starting a business were much different than the ones I have today. A lot of the books that I read influence myself in a lot of ways, especially in the way that I think. And one of the things that came across my mind is you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make the wrong choices. You're going to just make the wrong decisions. When you have a business, you may make the wrong decisions. But one specific quote in particular was from Thomas Edison, and of course, with the many inventions that he had, the famous quote that I read and stuck out in my mind is that he says, "I have not failed. I've just found out 10,000 ways that won't work." So I thought about that, and I thought, well, that was kind of a real interesting way to look at decisions and failures, but not necessarily making mistakes. Is that you could go through your life and not make a single mistake with the right mindset. And I'll explain what I mean. Is that with Thomas Edison's quote that he've not failed, he only found out 10,000 ways that it didn't work. It's kind of a winning mindset. It's an attitude that every decision that you make, it's only a learning process. It's going to allow you to get outside your comfort zone. And if you decide to do something and it does not work, it doesn't mean that you necessarily failed. It doesn't mean that it didn't necessarily work out either. It just shows you that, you know what, the decision you made is not the decision that's going to work for you. So you can regroup yourself, get yourself set mentally to go on, not beat yourself up over the head because of the decision that you've made, but learn from it and just move on and chalk it up to something that's more or less a learning experience. Now, I'm not the first person to ever say this, and again, I won't be the last to say it either. But for me, I learned that because as a business owner and you're trying your best to create something and grow it, and you don't necessarily always have the right direction. You may not have a mentor. You may not have all of the answers to the questions that you've got. But as you make decisions, you realize, hey, you know what? This didn't work out. Perfectly fine. Learn from it and move on from it. Don't dwell on it. But don't allow yourself to continually go back to it, because you're going to trip yourself up where you are right now. If I made a decision 5 weeks ago that wasn't the right one for my business, I don't have the time to sit back and just continually dwell on it and think about it, because if you do that, it's going to be counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve. And if you make decisions today that maybe corrected the one that you made before that didn't work out, then you can move yourself and move your business forward. Being an entrepreneur has taught me a heck of a lot about pushing myself and having to motivate myself Because when you have a job, you more or less go to that job every day, and you have a manager, a supervisor, someone who is going to be there behind you telling you, I need to have this done, I need to have that done, this is the list of things to do today. There's always someone else above you thinking for you and making decisions for you, and you more or less have to just carry them out almost like a robot. That's not what I didn't want that for my job, my life anymore. I didn't want to have a job. I wanted to be able to think for myself, be creative, and allow myself to make decisions that may not work. And if they don't work, hey, it's all part of the learning process. So when I say that you can go through your entire life and not make a mistake, it is just that. You're going to go through your life and you're going to have learning experiences every single day. And if you can look at things that way, you're going to be a lot less stressed. You're going to be a lot less abusive to yourself, in a sense. That you won't be beating yourself up because that decision didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So what? If it didn't work out, then you chalk it up and you look at what did not work so you could focus on what does work. And when you do that, and you can make a habit of doing that, your business will grow faster. You as a person will grow faster. You will have a lot more experiences in your life because you're not going to linger on the one that you made that didn't work out for you. And I hope that makes sense as far as helping you move forward in your business if you're just starting or if you're in business. It has taken about 6 to 7 years I've been in business now for myself. And as of today, I don't have the mindset that I had 6 years ago. Not even close. The mindset I have today is that when I see the goal that I'm trying to go for and I'm trying to get after, just see the goal and do whatever it is that you need to do. The obstacles are going to be there. They're going to come. You don't ever get rid of them. They will never go away. But if you can continue to see the end of what you need to achieve, and as long as you're on that path doing it, and you're not hurting people, you're not doing something in a negative fashion, you're not abusing the powers that you've got, or you're not doing something in a negative way that's going to affect other people, then just focus on the goal and see it. And don't stop until you get to the goal. Every single day you're going to make decisions owning a business. You're going to make hundreds of them a day. And there's going to be probably out of 100, 10 or 15 of them that you're going to wish you made a different way, a different choice, a different decision. But you can't beat yourself up over it. So my mentality now, as I have a business going into my seventh year, and seeing that we've grown our business tremendously, and we have a lot more growth, way more growth to go ahead, I will never ever look at myself as making a mistake. Every decision I make is a decision I make, and it's at that moment the right decision for what I need to do. If it pans out to be a benefit to me and grows my business, then perfect, I've made a good decision. If I've made a decision and it's something that I have to sit there and double check, or I'm going to have to contemplate later, maybe I shouldn't have done that, I don't do that. Every decision is a good decision because it's either going to be a benefit or it's going to be one that did not work out, but I will learn from it and then move forward. That's the type of mentality that I have now, and it's taken time and practice to establish that, but it's definitely one that will get you through a lot. If you are pursuing a career, if you're pursuing a goal to get your degree, if you're trying to create a business, if you're inventing something, it took me several years to get the patents that I have for my inventions. But I knew along the way, and a lot of money too. But the idea was that I knew that spending the money, spending the time, spending the effort is going to get that patent. And very, very few, very small percentage of patents ever get issued. Then most of them get denied. The fact that I was able to achieve that just to get a patent, and I will forever have a patent that I've got on my own and with my own hard work, is a great achievement. It feels awesome. It feels amazing. And I don't say that one iota do I say that to brag about it. I just say that I had to be determined to get it and to see the patent at the end and to see my name on that certificate, see my name on that patent as they issued it. That was my goal. And that's all I saw for the years that it took to get it. So I do hope that helps you out in some small way. I've got a couple other ones that I'm gonna do tonight in regards to developing yourself as an entrepreneur and as well as a person. So I do hope that this video helps you out in some way, shape, or form. If you like our videos, that's great. Give me any questions that you've got, and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks.